Valentine's Day had always been overrated, in my opinion, but that year it felt different. Maybe because Richard was different. I met him on Instagram a few weeks ago. He was handsome, rich, and charming. The kind of man that made you believe in fairy tales. From our conversations, I could tell he was well traveled, and his taste in luxury was evident in the designer's outfit and the expensive cars he flaunted. So when he asked me out for Valentine's dinner, I didn't hesitate. He insisted on picking me up, but I refused. I had watched enough true crime stories to know better. Instead, I met him at the restaurant, the Orchid Lounge, one of the most exclusive spots in Lagos. Everything was perfect. Candlelight, soft jazz playing in the background, and the table set with bouquet of red roses. He gifted me an expensive perfume and a gold bracelet. It all felt like a dream. Then he leaned closer, his voice smooth as silk. Let's make tonight unforgettable. There was a private suite waiting for us at Grand Royal Hotel. I insisted. I wasn't that kind of girl. But he wasn't pushing, just suggesting. He made me feel safe, special, and maybe, just maybe, I was ready to let my guard down. So, like a fool, I agreed. The Grand Royal Hotel was breathtaking, towering into the sky with its glassy exterior reflecting the city lights. The moment we entered, the scent of lavender and expensive cologne filled the air. Room 45, Richard told the receptionist, his hand resting protectively on my back. The elevator ride was quiet, but something felt off. My gut twisted in a way I couldn't explain. When we reached the fifth floor, I noticed something strange. Room 45 was at the end of a long, dimly lit hallway, far from the others. The door creaked as we entered. The room was lavish, king-size bed, champagne chilling in a bucket, soft music playing. But there was something chilling about it. The air felt heavier. And then I noticed it. Dark stains on the rug, faint but present. Wine spill, Richard said quickly when he caught me staring. But was it? Then my eyes landed on something even more disturbing. A dagger lying on the bedside table. My breath caught. Richard, why is there a knife in the room? He smiled, but this time the warmth was gone. Relax, Vanessa, he said, locking the door. The fun is just about to begin. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. I turned towards the door, but before I could move, two men stepped out from the bathroom, dressed in black robes. Fear paralyzed me. Richard, what's going on? My voice trembled. He sighed, almost sympathetically. You were perfect, Vanessa. Smart, beautiful, but naive. Just how we liked them. Before I could scream, one of the men grabbed me, pressing a damp cloth over my nose. A sharp chemical scent filled my lungs. Chloroform. The room spun. Darkness swallowed me. I woke up to the sound of whispering. My head throbbed, and my wrist burned. I was tied to a chair. Candles flickered around me, casting airy shadows on the walls. The men were chanting in a language I didn't understand. Richard stood before me, holding the dagger. This is an honor, Vanessa, he said, kneeling in front of me. Your blood will make us powerful. I struggled, my mind racing. Think, Vanessa, think. And then I remembered something. I had a safety pin inside the bracelet he gave me. With slow, deliberate movement, I walked on the ropes behind me. My hands were numb, shaking, but I couldn't afford to fail. Richard lifted the dagger. The chanting grew louder. My time was running out. I yanked my hand free just as he launched towards me. Without thinking, I grabbed a candle and huddled the hot wax into his face. He screamed. Chaos erupted. I ran, kicking, clawing, pushing my way towards the door. But just as I reached for the handle, one of the men tackled me to the ground. No, no, no! I wasn't going to die here. My hand landed on something, a broken glass bottle. Without hesitation, I slashed it across his face. Blood splattered. He howled in pain. I stumbled to my feet and ran. The hallway was empty, airy, silent. I sprinted towards the elevator, my breath raged, heart racing. When I reached the lobby, the receptionist looked at me in shock. Help me, I gasped. They are trying to kill me. She stood, alarmed. Who? Room 45, I cried. Richard and his men. Her face paled. She took a slow step back. Miss, room 45 has been vacant for years. My blood turned to ice. No, I whispered. I was just there. They were. A hand clamped over my mouth. Richard. He pulled me back, his voice cold in my ears. I told you, Vanessa, no one ever leaves room 45. And then everything went dark.